Përshëndetje motra.
Music and on the Trime Podcast.
I'm Leonarda.
I'm Lejla. Welcome home.
We've got someone really
Wow.
in the studio.
Music e ardhë, Rita.
Mirë se po ju gjej më në fund, domethënë. Finally in London.
I know.
This has been a long time. Well, I mean, we met Rita in June.
Mm-hmm.
We've been speaking kind of on Instagram. Then we met you in real life and we confirmed that you're actually real. And
Am I? Are you sure?
and you told us, oh, I'm coming to the UK to do my master's.
Well, we lost our minds. We were like, oh my
Yeah.
God, get her in now.
Yeah, exactly. But for the people that are watching us, please introduce yourself, Rita.
Of course. So my name is Rita. I still have trouble pronouncing my name here in UK because everyone pronounces differently.
Rita.
Yeah.
Rita is English, but you pronounce it however you want to. Like,
Exactly.
sometimes I just say Lejla, and then other
Yeah.
times I'll be like, Lejla. Pronounce
So,
it however you
yeah.
want to.
Yeah, people get it. Sometimes I spell it just so they get it right. Rita Ora helped.
Yeah.
in this.
Thank you, Rita.
Yeah, thank you, Rita. I'm a journalist and a women's rights activist. I've been working in the women's rights, gender issues mostly for the past 7 years, both in North Macedonia, Kosovo, and Albania. So that's my triangle. Lately, I've been doing more television in Kosovo as well because I started my career in North Macedonia as a TV host. But then I got the chance to be at Zanat, and that was a huge opportunity for me to express my opinions and views. And apparently, not everyone is very fond of it.
Well, that's how we discovered you, actually, because I don't watch too much TV. I don't follow any pop culture, nothing. Leonarda thought, you have to watch this show. You have to. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And then I heard you speak and I was like, who is she? Like, immediately we're like, who is this woman? We need to find who she is. So we were going to attack you anyway.
Yeah.
Were
But
you?
it just naturally developed between us, didn't it?
I think it was fate. As I told you, I've shared the first episode of this
Yeah.
podcast just when it started.
Yeah.
It's a video of you explaining the new setting. And when I saw the podcast, I was like, oh, this was much needed, because we do have a lot of podcasts, but people, I think, are scared of being honest.
Yeah.
I think this one is one of the most
Yeah.
honest podcasts that we have. So I was like, okay, this one, I should follow it. So I've been following you guys since day one. and when you wrote me, I was like, when she wrote me, I think
Yeah.
right? When Leo wrote me, I was like, okay, perfect. You were commenting, I think, something that I said at the show. And yeah, I met you, so here we are now.
So our relationship has developed pretty naturally, a little bit like, fate, like serendipity, really. And when we met in Pristina in June, we were just like laugh.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't stop talking, could
Yeah.
I think we are in the same frequency.
we? Yeah.
So that's why we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Well, and you're so right. I think in the biggest issue in our community, in our culture, is that we do have these underlying problems of misogyny, of violence, of the patriarchy, and so many people are terrified to attack the issue. We're absolutely not. And what we're doing here, and even like women like yourself back home who are trying to do, is something that a lot of people wouldn't even dare to dream of touching, let alone making it a reality. Now, when I've seen you on Zanat, I struggle to watch a lot of Albanian and Kosovan TV shows. I find they're really disrespectful between each other, like as the conversations develop. But you present your thoughts and your ideas, which are all right, by the way, I just have to say that. They're all right, in such a dignified way and with so much conviction. And that's why I felt so compelled to create a relationship with you.
It's not easy.
Mm.
I mean, I've been working as a TV host mostly, and as a TV host, you don't get to share your opinion much because you're on the other side. So Zanat was the first opportunity for me to actually share what I was thinking and feeling and everything. It's different in social media, so I could barely find time to share something in social media. So Zanat was a really nice opportunity for me to express my opinions, which I knew that are gonna spark some, how do I say, attention.
Yeah.
But it was not easy to be moderated, to stay calm, to say things in a very calm way, because it was my first time participating in a table where there were other women debating. Not everyone is respectful. Not everyone cares a lot about how you're gonna feel when they're gonna say something. So there, if you see the first shows and the last ones, you're gonna see a huge difference between these two, because I was much more insecure at the beginning on how should I approach to the public, because I knew my ideas were not what our culture accepts.
Radical.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how talking about women's safety and wanting women to be safe is radical,
Exactly.
but it is for our community.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I talk about periods and people out there get crazy. I'm like,
I saw that.
Why? You know, why?
Yeah.
Mora.
Oh my
Mora en
God.
television med folk
I know.
riktigt
And,
såhär.
It's funny how we use this term "mare," right? Because I have a big issue with this term, but in terms of periods or pregnancy, in terms of breastfeeding, how much shame is brought onto women in our community. I remember like being young, and when I did live back home, I mean, even here in the diaspora, it really wasn't much. It was probably, I actually say it was worse here in the diaspora, where women, when they were pregnant, having to wear big baggy clothes so that men couldn't tell that they were pregnant, having to breastfeed in private, you know, and it was all of these things that were so natural to a woman were now she was supposed to be ashamed of, and she was supposed to hide it.
Yeah, I think we've gone a long way. I mean, if you listen to my grandma, I mentioned her a lot. If only if she knew in all my interviews. If you ask her, even their husbands, they wouldn't know that the wife got pregnant, is pregnant, because they would consider it such a huge mare, you know?
Yeah.
So even their own partner didn't know. So we've gone a long way. We are talking about breastfeeding in public. I don't know, abortion.
Yeah.
Stuff that I think for our culture are new things.
Yeah.
So I expect the reaction. I know there is gonna be the reaction, a reaction, because it's new to people. I know they're not used to listening to these things, and sometimes I find it very funny actually when they comment something, because I know they don't get what I'm saying from the way they type, from the things they say. I'm like, they're totally missing out my point. But you need a lot of education to actually start understanding what we're speaking about.
And we say that a lot because you know what it's like to be a feminist in our community. It's like a really dirty word, you know. No one wants to be associated.
It's demonic.
Yeah, it's demonic. Like, nobody wants to be a feminista, but there is this sense of us being radical and people being so scared to express their opinions. And so I want to know, how do you manage to stay grounded then amongst all of the noise, amongst all of the social media, amongst being in the public eye back home? How do you stay grounded and strong and constantly remain at the forefront with your ideas?
I don't have an answer to that. I get that question a lot. I think people are scared of being feminists because it's not easy. It's not easy today to go out there and talk about your rights, be who we are today, independent women, not needing anyone else, living our life to the fullest, the way we want to. Doing that, it's not easy, especially for Albanian women. So they're better. I mean, they think it's better if they say, you know, I'm not a feminist. Of course you're not a feminist. It takes a lot of work to be a feminist. Me, I think it has a lot to do with who I am. I think I'm just born this way. I don't know. I get very frustrated the injustice.
Yeah.
So that thing, I mean, since I was a kid, when I would see someone doing something to someone, and I would say, this is not fair, I would get so pissed, and I would be like, I have to do something about this. So now I have the power to do something
platform,
about
yeah.
it, and I'm not stopping. And you know what keeps me going? I'm like, Skanderbeu was fighting out there with guns and I don't know, armies and stuff. I this is easy.
This is nothing.
This is easy.
We're just in front of the camera.
Yeah. Especially when I have, challenges with the local authorities back home. I'm like, this? People fought, people killed one another for this. I'm gonna do this. It's okay. It's a democratic way of doing things.
Absolutely.
So that keeps me going. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I always say this because people usually think, okay, great courage, you do it so well, you carry it so well. But I've been talking a lot about my mental health problems last year. So it comes a point where it backfires.
Yeah.
But it's the price we have to pay for being
who
we are.
We know it, don't we, Leo?
Yeah.
Even though it's not fair.
So we're really proud of you for coming all the way from Kosovo to England, the UK, London, to do your masters. And I wanted to know, as an Albanian woman back home, traveling, coming here, how has that experience been for you? And how do you feel about your future in those terms? And I guess, how did everyone around you react? And did you have any pushback, or was everyone like, go, Rita, go?
Everyone was go, because I have had a difficult period of my life. So everyone was very much aware that I need to leave. And as you know, especially this past year, I've been getting a lot of hate. So especially my mom, she was like, you have to go. And she's like all the time telling me, don't post on social media. Go out there, do your masters, leave the social media behind. I just came back from Macedonia now, and my dad, the last thing he told me when he was saying goodbye, he was like, don't stay too much on social media.
They don't get it, do they? They don't understand.
It does harm to you. It does no good to you. Don't stay on social media. My dad never reacts towards what I say on social media and on media in general. He uses TikTok a lot, so he only sees some of the posts that go around on TikTok, usually when I talk about God, religion, and stuff like that. And it's like, why do you have to talk about this? People are going to react. And I'm like...
It could be like our parents. Psete. Why? Psete.
Sete.
Shaka jettim e mochetim.
Çka kumbo one.
It's funny when we say it. I haven't heard that for a long time. Psete. People... I have said this before. People expect everything from me. And that has set me free, because they thought, okay, this is Rita is a young girl, 18, 19, she's gonna find someone. When she finds a husband, things are gonna...
You'll be humble.
Yeah.
When you find a husband.
Exactly. So I got exactly. So I got into a relationship, and they saw that, okay, she's not stepping down.
There's no way.
She's not doing it. He's not doing... Even my dad, he was like, this guy. Maybe he should do more. And they just... they saw that I'm not stepping down. Yeah. I'm just doing my thing. I'm following to do my thing. And then they started seeing me as a threat. They were like, do your thing, but not in Skopje, for example, in Shkup. Or do your thing, but not in Pristina or in somewhere else, Don't touch our...
Do it, but don't do it too much. Do it like this. Constantly policing everything.
Yeah. Exactly that. So, yeah, they just saw that there's no escape towards what I'm doing. My friends say you're a monopoly in North Macedonia. Because people don't speak about these things, and when somebody has to talk about something that is related to gender and they need an Albanian woman, they're always like, oh, Rita, okay. So I'm everywhere, and people like, they usually tell me, you're everywhere. Yes, and that's also a price that I'm paying trying to be everywhere representing the Albanian community, because it's not the same being an Albanian in North Macedonia and Kosovo, Albania.
Yes.
So we have had to fight for our identity, language, and we are still doing that, especially now with the new government that we have and everything else. So trying to be the good Albanian girl, the right example, and all those things, it has also backfired on some way, because I am very well integrated within the North Macedonian community, Macedonian people as well. So they were like, if they have accepted her, there's something wrong, you know? So a lot of, the Balkans, it's not an easy place to understand first and then to live in it.
There's a lot of xenophobia.
Absolutely. Këto në Angli, they confuse us with Eastern European. So Eastern Europeans like Polish, Romanian, Estonians. Am I saying that right? Estonia, yeah, like Hungary, yeah. So when I say to English people here, don't put us in the Eastern European category, because kultura jon është këtë ndryshe.
Yeah.
Nashta ka do selekcion njëjtë, normal, but është këtë ndryshe. Tradita që kemi ato, they go back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Even when I explain to people how our ancestors were originally pagans, and actually how we followed the canon instead of religion, they can't grasp the concept that we followed this book of principles that was actually so downtrodden on women. It's very foreign to them. And you're 100% right. Our culture is so misunderstood.
I mean, I see it even here in UK. First of all, people don't know where North Macedonia is. Maybe Kosovo, because it's a new country and they have been mentioning it around. But definitely there's a lot of work to be done for people to understand our culture. You mentioned Kanun. I think it's one of the reasons why our society is so patriarchal. That was the beginning, the Kanun was the beginning. And then the things went how they went. To go back to your question before, for the first time, I feel normal being here.
Wow. I got goosebumps.
Back home, I am the black sheep, the one outsider that stands out, the outsider. In Brighton, I am the very normal person, and everyone else is, I mean, I think they have accepted everyone for who they are, and it's the most diverse place where I've been traveling the world, but living here, it has really made me feel normal, because I have so many other people around me thinking the same things, knowing the same things. I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to fight to make a point, because everybody gets my point. I mean, I'm here to study gender. So maybe I am around people that understand gender, and that's why I feel this way. But when people ask me, I mean, it was even your first question, I think, I was thinking, like, how am I feeling in UK? And I was like, normal. That's what I'm feeling. Like, it's not, I mean, I like being the not normal person back home, because it makes you stand out. It gives you another place in the society. It gives you the attention. It gives you everything. But yeah, maybe for some time I need to feel normal.
You're touching on so much. Like, as I'm listening to you, it's bringing so much about my childhood. So, and actually a lot of the work that we're doing now, I didn't want to live in this patriarchal way of living. I'd see how the Western people were living, and that's not to say that they're better or whatever. Every culture and community has their own issues. But I didn't feel normal in our community. I felt normal outside of the home. And you saying that is like, oh my God, of course. Even the work that we're doing with the podcast, a lot of my business associates, friends, other non-profit communities, I'm quite well integrated here in the UK with Western English people, right? And they champion everything we're doing. They're like, this is amazing, girls. Like, this is so needed. It's such a niche topic. The women in your community are so deserving of it. But then when we turn our attention to our own community, and the conversation is completely different. How dare you do this? Why are you bringing shame onto our community? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm frustrated, and not the hate doesn't frustrate. I don't care. I don't give a shit about that. What frustrates me is we're still fighting back against the mentality. That's what's frustrating, that there is this deep-rooted mentality that violence towards women and girls is okay.
Yeah. And it's more about our reputation as a community in the Western world than actually dealing with the issues in our own community. It's how dare you smear our community in front of the Western world because they already hate us.
That's all that matters. You know, how we are shown to other people, what other people think. That's all that matters in the Albanian community. And that's why I'm free. I don't care.
But because it's systemic.
Është
në familje, tani është edhe in the government, and then it's worldwide. But my point is that you can see all the way from the bottom up how it affects us as women everywhere we go.
I've been sharing things, you know, how people are gonna talk. They're always gonna talk, no matter what you do. So there are some people asking for help for different kind of things in my Instagram account, and I try to help people out with whatever they need. And then these same people are the ones spreading hate on social media for me. And I've been posting both messages, you know, the one where I'm offering help and helping them, and the one because they are even scared to be on the side of the right person. You know, they better be on the side of all other people than on the side of the right person. It's very challenging for my friends to stand on my side. They get a lot of hate themselves. My friends, you know, I have a lot of friends, but specifically Orhan is one of my best friends, and he gets a lot of questions. Every time I go on TV, he's like, when somebody texts me something with Rita, I know you have gone on TV, talked about something, you know.
It's like, oh no, what she said now.
Because he is very religious, you know, and he gets me in another way. But the people around him are also very religious and very traditional, I would say. So things that I say, they just can't understand why. How can Orhan be my friend when I think this way and he's religious and traditional? And how can he be my friend, you know? So I even understand why my friends sometimes have to step one step back, just because not everybody can... përball the hate, it doesn't come në anglisht. Nuk mund gjithkusht të përballet me urrëtitjen. Like some people want their peace, and that's totally fine. But it is very challenging talking and having people on your side, because what are other people gonna say? Çka do thonë tjerët?
And the last time me and Leah were in the studio, we recorded an episode and we were having this conversation about how isolating it is to do this work and to be so in the forefront in the public eye with it. Because, I mean, I was thinking, most of my friends, they don't care about things like that. And I was like, I don't actually have a lot of friends.
We actually
My
don't.
circle is very small, but that's by design. Just like you say, I understood a long time ago who is right and who's not right for me as a friend.
It's a very lonely walk, especially in our culture. It's a very lonely walk.
Absolutely.
You get only a few friends by your side. You get only, I mean, it is sometimes even challenging with your family. Because
sometimes
it's
a 24/7 thing. There's no sometimes.
Maybe I'm lucky. I guess I'm younger than you guys. I'm 28, and I am lucky also because my parents are very open-minded. So to be honest, I never had this problem of being out there chasing my dreams, because, you know, they would always be showing me the right path, but always letting me do my mistakes, and never trying to make me go silent. So I'm lucky on that regard. That's why I'm saying sometimes it is the price my family is also paying for what I do. And it's very it makes me sad, actually, because I know it's even harder for them than it's for me, because me myself, I can bear everything. but the pressure that the society puts on them
Yes.
when I talk about stuff, you know, my mom gets a lot of questions like, is she supporting the LGBTQ community? And my mom's like, yes. Oh, you know, always that reaction. So
Yeah.
they are getting a lot of hate as well. So I'm trying to understand them as well. But on the other side, it's challenging for me
Yeah.
too, because you're trying to also make your family understand that what I'm doing it's for the good of the society. And lately, I've been getting this question, but why? Why do you need to get you know, I
Yeah.
tell them it's being very hard for me, you know, I'm getting a lot of hate, and they're like, but you don't have to.
Yeah, you can just stop.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's incredibly hard to stop. When you
I don't want to stop.
yeah. When you wake up to the patriarchy and you understand what the patriarchy does and how disadvantaged women are because of the patriarchy, and you wake up to it, you can't go back.
Yeah.
So there is no such thing as why. What do you mean why? I
Exactly.
can't sleep if I'm not doing something.
You
I'm
see
a
the
woman.
world differently.
I'm a woman. I care for women.
Mm-hmm.
I really care about
Yeah.
men, but I care
Yeah.
about the women in our community.
But once you see it, you can't. I say that all the time.
No.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's a very hard way until you see it,
Yeah.
especially being raised. I mean, it's so funny in so many ways. So most people don't know this about me, but I grew up in a very small village. When I say for 15 years my village was my life, my mom's like, but we've been traveling, why are you saying that? You know, don't say that, we've been going around. Yes, but my village was the only thing I knew
It was a
back
community.
then. It was my community, it was the life I was living, and I saw that I was not fitting in. Then I went to high school and my circle got a little bit bigger, you know, trying to understand people, meeting new people. Then at the university it got even bigger, and you start to see that it's not actually very different from the village, to be honest. But you know, you start to
Because
understand this.
The reality is it's a lot of different villages all in one place.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
because it's and by village I don't just mean it in the metaphorical sense. It's also the mentality.
Absolutely.
It's the mentality wherever you go. We might have different dialects. Maybe we do things a little bit differently. But I'm telling you that misogyny is so deep rooted in our community that if you put all the different villages in one place together, it's all going to be the same.
It's just the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was this very traditional girl, religious. I was praying 5 times a day. But when I was 20, 21, something, I was doing all the things that felt right at that moment. I was thinking that by 25, I'm going to be married. I'm going to have a kid. I'm going to have this traditional life that we know about. And then I don't know where the switch off was. You just start being aware of the reality and the culture you live in, and you see things differently. So I think I was 22 or something when my switch happened. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know, I have to work with myself. I have to be this someone else. I started working on gender issues more. I started to understand the patriarchal society. So many concepts, you know, because you never hear about these things. That's another thing. When I was growing up, nobody talked to me about feminism.
Yeah.
Nobody talked to me about women's rights.
Yeah.
Not even in school, not even nowhere. So I had to educate myself. And today, when I think back, I was like, what was I thinking? 25, married? You know?
I know, honestly. Oh no, I had Bella when I was 24 years old, and I look back now, on con for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was way too young. The ages of when both men and women, it's hard for me to call men and women. When you're 19, you're getting married, you're still a child, right? But you think about those lessons that you've learned between the ages of 0 to 19, and then you're just thrown into a marriage by choice. I know that we don't practice forced marriages in our community. That's like a very old thing that used to happen. But even when it is by choice now, the reality is, what have you learned in those 19 years?
I think it's a very thin line between something being imposed to you and something being your choice.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to women, because they have been raised to think in a specific way.
Absolutely.
So is it really their choice getting married?
Absolutely.
I think the worst thing that is happening to our community is us going back to women getting engaged and married very early. I think when men understood, and the society in general, when the Albanian community understood that if we educate women and if they get their freedom at the end of the day, they're not getting their
They won't
privileges.
want to get married, yeah.
I mean, if you want to, if a girl gets married at 23, she is not very much aware of the things that come in front.
Yeah.
So if you allow that girl to grow, to get out there, you know, now it's a new trend saying, you know, this is what happens if you get too much freedom.
Yeah. Welcome to the pod. Yes, I know. I know. That's the comments I get all the time. Oh, this is what happens when you. I was like, oh, go away.
Exactly that. Especially when I broke up, you know, people were like, you see, even your boyfriend left
you. In a relationship with a man.
Yeah. Exactly. And you know, people don't understand how everyone sees you differently when you have a partner in your life, when you have a man in your life. I have wanted so much to write about this, but I haven't had the chance. Being single again, for me, it has opened my eyes in so many ways, because I was I was in a relationship from 22 to 27, 28, and 27 actually, and I was so, you know, I was getting the hate and everything, but on the other side, I was so peaceful in so many other ways just because I had a man in my life.
Wow, yeah.
So some people, you know, I was not getting this pressure of getting married. I was not getting the pressure of finding someone. I was not getting the pressure of so many things that are related to having a man in your life.
Being treated differently.
Yeah. So when I broke up, you know, I understood that something, I was not getting the pressure just because I had a man in my life, and I was free of so many things that are expected from girls just when they are single. And I was just free from some things just because I had a partner in my life. And being single again, it opened my eyes in so many ways, seeing also how men respect men, but not women. How men respect you only because you have a man in your life. But when the moment you do, you're not that respectful anymore.
Absolutely.
They don't have to respect you anymore because, you know?
Absolutely, because you don't belong to another man. Exactly. So I'm so glad that you brought this up. I would have always classed myself as a feminist from a child. That's why my household was always in chaos, because I never listened to anybody, and I was always, you know, at the forefront, like, this isn't right, this isn't fair. But I wasn't as deep into practicing feminism in my daily life until I left my ex-husband. So I thought I had to be married to a man. I thought I needed to have children. I never wanted to. I never wanted to be married to a man. I hated the idea of being married. I didn't want to be a mum. I didn't want to have a family until I left him. And then I was like, oh, I really like being a mum, actually. I do like having a child. And then I realised that I'm not straight. And then I came into my own sexuality, and I was like, I'm not even straight. I don't even like men. I don't even like the sight of them. I'm attracted to women and women only. And that's when I started to realise that I'd been living the choices, like you're saying, they were not mine.
Exactly.
Those choices were not mine. It was these messages that had been deeply ingrained into me from the age that I was born.
Yeah.
And it was only then that I started to live in my own authenticity, in my own everything. Because it's not just about sexuality, right? It's actually about waking up to the patriarchy, to the misogyny, and realising I don't actually have to live this way.
What's really interesting is also people not understanding the fact that, you know, I've been going on TV and they've been asking me if I want a family. And usually I'm like, yes, I want to get married one day. I want a family. I want a baby, maybe 5. I don't know. But I do want that.
Yeah.
And they're like, but that's not very feminist. And I'm like, how
Yeah.
is that not feminist?
Oh God.
You know, just because I think we have created this idea of if you are something, you can be something else.
Absolutely, no nuance whatsoever.
If you are feminist, you can be religious. If
Yeah.
you are religious, you can be a feminist. If you are, you know, we have created these boxes and we expect everyone to fit into these
Yeah.
boxes.
Absolutely.
And then when you are out there being a feminist and religious and wanting a family, and they're like, but wait a minute.
Yep.
I get a lot of messages, you know, people saying, I followed you for this, but I saw this other video of yours and you are, I don't know what, the devil itself. I get called that a lot. And I'm like,
this seems like to be a
Thank
normal
you.
thing amongst
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
of course, it's the same challenges everywhere. And I'm like, first of all, I did not ask for you to follow me. I'm not, I appreciate every person that follows me because that's how I got educated. I followed other people and I got educated myself, especially, as I said, on gender issues. So I appreciate everyone that follows me, but I did not ask you to. So if you are there in my profile reading what I'm writing, it was your choice at the end of the day, and you can unfollow me anytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's this idea of them following you because, you know, last week I posted a video of me reading something that I had written 5 years ago. I usually write things. I like writing, especially when I'm not feeling okay. So 5 years ago, I had written something about me wanting to go. I was feeling so heavy. Something heavy in my chest. So I was feeling this need to leave it somewhere. And I had written something about the need to go mosque to mosque, you know, asking for God to help me in that moment. And I randomly found this poem of mine and I had read it in my phone, and I created an AI video of some women in the mosque and I put the voice recording to it. So it's a very much religious video if you see it. And then people are like, Paskeran to bistikfa.
Oh my God.
Because you can be both. You
No,
can
you
be a
can't.
feminist and ask for God's help. Because like, does God love feminists?
But this is, me and Leo get this all the time. People don't understand why we're friends because Leo, essentially, I've gone completely against the culture. I am, you know, the antithesis of everything in the community. And Leo is married to an Albanian man. She's deeply into her faith, and they can't understand how we formed not just a friendship but a sisterhood between each other. They don't get it. They don't understand that feminism is not black and white, that especially when you practice it intersectionally. Just because I'm not religious, that doesn't mean that I can't be friends with another woman who is really, like, it doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. You have to understand that when we're talking about feminism, it's not black and white. You cannot look at it like that. You have to look into the intersectionality. But you have to break down women's identity to see how you're going to essentially fight against the patriarchy and break down systems.
But it's trying to keep in control. So they ask you, but you're a feminist, how can you want a family? Because they want you to be in a box so that patriarchy still wins. You can do whatever you want to do, but you have to stay within this box. Absolutely. And you can't get out of it. But they don't understand that, you know, I always say this, my faith is more feminist than anything, than society itself.
Exactly.
It's more feminist. It's the most freeing thing that us as Muslim women have.
And then the way we practice religion, it's completely something else. If I'm attacking the way we practice religion, it's because it's oppressing women.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm not okay with that.
Yes.
I mean, I'm totally okay with a woman being religious in Brighton, for example. I have a very nice woman called Carmen in my dormitory. She's fully independent. She has a scarf in her head, but she has every other opportunity. So I'm totally fine with her choices because that's what feminism is all. It's also about, you know, women getting to have those choices. But I'm not okay with a woman being covered just because somebody told
her to. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
I want it to be her choice.
And it's wrong.
And it's wrong. You know what people can't understand actually? it's how we respect one another,
Mm-hmm.
because they do not respect one another, and for them, us respecting one another is a wow thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
can you respect Lejla? You know,
Yeah.
she's a lesbian.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
can
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
And because they're scared now, because now there's someone who is deep into the faith thinking, oh, well, it wasn't actually what people told me it was actually gay people are not monsters.
Because they
And
haven't
now
met
you,
now
gay people,
yeah,
a gay person.
exactly.
You know, I always tell them, they're like, oh, but there are no gay people in our society. I'm like, most of my friends
You're
are gay.
fucking blind.
What?
You're fucking blind.
Who
You're
said
so
that?
blind.
You know,
That's
most
the
of my
funniest thing.
friends are gay.
Yeah.
Okay, but the reason why you don't know that, it's because they are not safe.
Yes,
It's because
exactly. They're not safe, yeah.
do not go out telling you
Absolutely.
who they really are. They do tell me because they feel understood and everything
Yeah.
else. But they need to get out of the country to feel safe.
Yes,
You know, I have
yes.
so many friends in USA, in Europe, getting out, getting married. Their families don't know that they're married.
Oh, yeah. That makes me so sad.
How sad is that?
It makes me
How
so
sad is
sad.
that? You know?
Yeah.
I go in Berlin, you know, and people know me now, especially the Albanian community, especially the LGBTQ community, because they have seen me talking about them. And when they meet me in these conferences and other things, they're like, "Oh, you're Rita. I know you know, from the TV." I'm like, "Okay." They're like, "We appreciate your work. We really do." And then they start telling me about their life, and I'm like, and they're like, "You know, yeah, I'm married to a man, for example, or to same-sex marriages, you know, but they back home now, they don't know." Or the other option is, yeah, they know, but we have cut the relations we've had, you know.
I mean, obviously, like, I can tell you firsthand my own lived experience, but my own lived experience can't be compared to what people from the LGBTQ plus community are suffering back home. Because whilst homophobia is worldwide, you're going to get that wherever you go, right? At the end of the day, I'm safe to live however I want to live, right? I'm safe in my sexuality. I'm safe in my practice of feminism. I'm safe in my lifestyle choices. I always, and Leo knows, like, I'm so passionate about this, because whilst the podcast is centering around our women, like, I'm so passionate about also creating safety for our queer community back home, because we have this platform and we have the privilege of being safe.
100%.
It shouldn't be a privilege to be safe,
It
but
shouldn't,
we have
definitely.
this, right? We've
Should be
created this for
normal.
ourselves. It should be normal. And there is so much work to be done for our queer community back home.
Definitely. I
much.
mean, they are the most marginalized community back home. Feminists, I don't know. I mean, when you work on women's rights, usually organizations, nonprofits back home, or people that work on gender, they work with violence against women, which is a topic that everyone agrees upon, and other things, you know. But when you have to really talk about some things that are not being discussed, that's when it's challenging for us in general to raise our voice and say, you know, okay, just a second, this is not okay. The best thing that I'm getting lately, it's people saying, "Po ju del se ka thon Rita." You know?
That's what they say about me
love
too.
that, you know? Yeah, people are like, "Apo ju del në fund fjala Ritës, just because I'm not talking nonsense.
Exactly.
I'm seeing things.
Yeah,
If I'm talking
exactly.
about a married Albanian man texting me all the time, it's my reality. And who are you to tell me that's not true and it's
That's
not
so
real?
disgusting.
You know? You know why it's disgusting? Because they do not accept it. The moment people would be like, okay, I'm getting married, but also I want an open relationship, you know? I want to go with other women. I would be totally fine with that. I would be like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's not okay because they pretend to be, you know, kjo çështja e moralit, të moralshëm, shesin moral gjithë ditën. And on the other side, they are telling me my reality, it's not true.
Double life, living a double life.
That's where my problem is. the moment they're gonna say, you know, yeah, I'm getting married, but I want my freedom. I'm getting married for other reasons. I want to see other women. I'm totally fine with that. It doesn't
To
matter.
be open about the intentions that you have, I guess what you mean. So then it gives you the choice about whether you want to go forward with a relationship or not.
I posted something today that I think it's exactly what I'm talking about, and I would like to read that. It says, integrity is when our words and deeds are consistent with our values.
Yes.
It's Simon Sinek. I think this is it.
Yeah.
The moment you live in consistency with your values, your values, I'm totally fine with it. But when they clash, it means something's wrong. So in the Albanian community, mostly there's a crash.
And I think it's you're just hitting the nail on the head. That's exactly what it is. When you do this work, to be unshakable, to do this work, you also have to live by it.
Yeah.
And there has to be a consistent lifestyle that actually goes with it. Being a feminist isn't just about saying women should be equal to men.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's so superficial to say that. True feminism is so much deeper than that. There's so much deeper work, and that work is ugly to do so, especially when you're coming from patriarchal and misogynistic communities like ours, right? That you have to live by your own set of values. And so when people leave comments and say silly things, it doesn't shake me. It doesn't bother me because I live by my truth and I live by what's right for me. So there is nothing anyone else can say to me that is going to shake me. Shake it and make me back down.
Exactly. No, same. I mean, people leave all kinds of comments, or family members will make sly comments or whatever it is. Yeah. Okay. I mean, Lejla's met my husband. I live in the most pro-feminist household, and
I've heard the story on how you met him and how you told him to be careful because you're dating an Albanian girl.
Well, I took him to a shooting range for our first date.
I know.
I know as well. That's why I mentioned it's amazing. I think every girl should practice this.
And then he proposed. But I mean, me and my husband, we met on Monday. We got engaged on Friday. I did not play games, and we are 12 years now in our relationship. Okay. So, but I got engaged when I was 19. I was so young, and looking back, I'm like, oh, budalic. Oh, cool. But then at the same time, me and him grew up together. We worked through all of our trauma. We worked on each other so much that we've built a life where both me and him are just safe with each other, and we don't need anyone else. We're so comfortable because my brother-in-law actually, he stayed with us last year. And me and my husband, we joke around. I mean, Lejla, the amount of videos and stuff I sent her, she must think like this couple is cuckoo. But we laugh and we joke. And he's like, why do you guys laugh all the time? Why are you smiling so much? And I was like, what? And I was like, but this is what love is. Yeah. This is what happiness and safety is.
Look, it's very difficult for people to be happy back home.
I know. And it's so hard for women. There's so many, I see in my own cousins and family, there's a lot of expectations and pressure for women and young girls to get engaged, to do this, go school but have kids and not have a job and not have a career but have as many babies. And if you've got girls, you need to have a boy because you know
you have to have a boy.
So it's incredibly hard back at home. Again, me and Lejla, the diaspora in some aspects have more privileges than women in Kosovo, Albania, or
yes and no. I think sometimes they are even more isolated than women back home.
In terms of culture, yes, but in terms of opportunities, it's a bit easier.
I mean, if they are not allowed to go out, are they reaching actually those opportunities?
Yeah, no, in that respect, yes.
The problem is in the diaspora, the communities are so small that if there is violence and abuse happening in the household, there's not many opportunities actually for the woman to be able to flee.
Yeah.
She's stuck.
She's stuck, definitely.
You know, maybe... And I'm just comparing it. Obviously, this is all like hypothetical. These aren't real life case studies. I'm just comparing it to someone back home, you know, where they've got... better access to their family. Maybe they do have a work life and they've got their friends around them, whereas it's different for a woman here in the diaspora.
But on the other side, they have the police. in
Here.
diaspora, you
Yeah.
know. And I always tell them, you have the police, you have the state on your, having your back. Why are you not calling them? I know it's hard. I mean, I never say why. I just try to push them towards, please do so, because you have the access, you have the opportunities to actually be free from the violence that you're getting. But what I meant with people are, it's very hard for them to be happy. It's because there's a system that doesn't work. So you go to the hospital, you're not getting the service. You're pregnant, you're not getting the service. You are sick, you're not getting the service. You need a document, you're not getting the service. So it's this constant unhappiness following you everywhere. So when you're back home, of course, you're not gonna be jumping around from happiness and be happy around your partner, because you're gonna be like, I had a day.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. So I think it's very challenging. But on the other side, I always say, if I have managed to live my life as specifically the way I want to, I think everyone can. And that's my message. Every time I talk publicly, I'm like, I am living my life the way I want to. And it's so sad. I have so many women texting me, I love the way you live, and I'm sorry my life was not the same. I did not have the same opportunities. Luck was not in my, I had a message a few days ago saying, I was dreaming of going to Oxford. Wow. I was dreaming to going to universities in UK, and I just, I got stuck here. So it was never my opportunity. So somehow they are also living their dreams through me. But at the end of the day, I think I don't think there comes a time when it's too late. It's never too late.
Never.
And I get same but different messages like on a daily basis, where women will say to me, I feel stuck. You said stuck seems to be the common denominator that a lot of women feel when they're messaging me. They're like, I've fallen in love with someone outside the culture, or I'm gay, like I'm a lesbian or whatever, and they say to me, how did you do it? And I can't answer that, because how I did it will be different to how someone else does it. Exactly. But also the risks that I did, I took the risk. I was okay with losing everything to be me.
Exactly.
And that's something you have to take that on for yourself. You have to understand what it is that we can't create these big changes in our community overnight. I don't think if I'm honest, I don't think I'm going to see that in my lifetime. No. That sense of freedom for women. But there is a lot of risks that come with wanting to do things for you in your own way.
I think also it's very different. People sometimes they don't know other people's realities. I had a flight back to London very early in the morning, so I arrived around 2 a.m. And I am a person that travels a lot because of my work. So I'm all the time here and there. People that follow me on social media usually can see that. I'm always here and there. But I've met these new people from the Albanian community here now. And I was texting with someone, and he told me, oh, you arrived at 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, yes. And he's like, and where did you go? It's 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, I booked a room. I had it planned already. And he's like, but it's unsafe. I'm like, it's unsafe for me everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
We live life as women feeling unsafe. So that for me is just my normal life. I hadn't even thought about it. Thinking, I arrived 2 a.m. in the morning, is it unsafe? Because I'm just constantly used to go through it. I don't think about this unsafeness anymore.
I had that once as well. And I planned this whole going out as a tourist in Zurich and all these other places, and my uncle's wife was like, and I was like, this is my daily life in London. So with that said, my final question to you, Rita, is there, as you mentioned, you get so many messages from other Albanian women and they're trying to find their own voice, right? And they're trying to do it through you. So what advice would you give them about how they can use their own voice without fear?
Lately, I've been encouraging them to be more materialistic, and mașo materialista. I think we don't think enough about the financial things, and I think if you have money, you have your freedom. Nobody can take nobody. It's very hard to take the freedom from you if you have money. If you can buy your own apartment, pay your rent, pay your bills, go to work, manage to, cover the things for your kids and stuff like that. The moment you have independence, financial independence, you are free in so many other aspects. So lately, I think this should be the message maybe for the end. I've enjoyed this conversation so much because I have not been on TV for months or anywhere else, so I had really missed this.
I feel like we've only just scratched the surface. We might have to get you back for another episode. There's so many questions.
Part two.
I am here and very much willing to talk about anything you want. But I think that's going to be my last message. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
It's always a pleasure.
Always.
Thank you.